you all for direct taxation class. Today we will discuss about few problems on income from house property. So in the previous session we had discussed the theoretical concepts of income from house property. So today we will work out few problems based on that. So here, and it also says computation of your income from house property. So while computing income from house property, we need to check with two things. One is here we will be calculating with respect to let out house property. Another one is self-occupied house property. So each one will be following the different calculation method. So first and foremost thing is, so with respect to computation of income from let out house property, let out in the sense which is given on rent, right? So at that point of time, how the calculations will be made means while considering these aspects. So one is your gross annual value will be considered. Out of gross annual value, municipal tax will be deducted. Then you will get net annual value. So afterwards, out of net annual value, deduction under section 24 will be given. So where we give standard deduction under section 24 subsection A, that is 30% of your NAV, that is net annual value. One more thing, interest on borrowed capital, loans paid or payable will be given, that is section 24 subsection B, right. So remaining amount what it comes, that will be said as your income from let out house property, right. Here I said the concept of gross annual value. So gross annual value, so it follows a different mode of calculation where we need to follow 5 steps of calculation with respect to computing the gross annual value. So how do we compute the gross annual value? Means it is based on the 5 steps. So which are those 5 steps? I'll just go through that. Step 1. So here in your step 1, you should find out the reasonable expected rent of the property. Clear? Where it will be determined based on 3 aspects or 3 factors. That is municipal value. Next one is fair rent of the property. Next thing is standard rent of the property. So based on these 3 factors, you have to decide what is the reasonable expected rent of the property. Okay. So first thing is, so what do you mean by municipal value or municipal valuation? So here municipal value or municipal valuation means the taxes that are collected by the municipalities or local authorities, that they will be doing the survey. So based on that, they make the valuation of the properties or the inherent capacity of the particular buildings. So that will be said as your municipal valuation. Next thing is fair rent. So what do you mean by this fair rent? So fair rent in the sense it will be determined on the basis of similar properties in that particular area or in the similar locality. So that will be said as your fair rent. Next thing is standard rent. Under Rent Control Act, standard rent will be fixed, saying that minimum rent is this much, maximum rent is this much. So legally they say that this is the maximum amount what a tenant can recover under the Rent Control Act. So that is what. So based on these 3 factors, that is municipal value, fair rent of the property, standard rent of the property, you need to calculate reasonable expected rent, right. So afterwards we will move on to second step, right. So in the second step we need to find out rent actually received or receivable after excluding the unrealized rent, but before deducting the loss due to vacancy, means loss due to vacancy. Means here you need to check with what is the actual rent they are receiving or received, and you have to deduct unrealized rent. So what do you mean by unrealized rent is, means which is not recovered by the owner, means the tenant has not paid it, right. So that is what. So what will be the thing? So based on that, so whatever the amount which is taken in the previous year as a rent for that particular property through let out, that amount minus your unrealized rent, right? So whenever you are checking with your unrealized rent, you need to also look with certain conditions. So what are those conditions with respect to unrealized rent? Means, so tenancy should be bona fide, right? Means legal aspect should be there. Next thing is defaulting tenant has vacated, means he has left, or steps should be taken to compel the person to vacate the property. That is second thing. Next thing is the defaulting tenant is not in the occupation of any other property of the assessee, means he is not, or he is not connected to any property of the assessee. That is one thing. Next thing is assessee has taken all the responsible steps, right, to instigate the legal proceedings with respect to recovering his unpaid rent. In simple terms, if you want to say, means unrealized rent in the sense unpaid rent by the tenant. So that you need to deduct. So remaining amount what you receive, that will be taken as your step 2. Next is step 3, where you will compute the changes, means you look for the changes in step 1 and step 2, then you will compute whichever is higher, step 1 or step 2, whichever is higher. So based on that, you will put the amount for step 3. Next thing is, so find out, that is step 4, you will find out loss because of vacancy, means because the house was vacant, due to that what is the loss done for the assessee, that will be taken into consideration. Afterwards, your step 5, that is your last step, that will be said as your gross annual value step, where you will be looking here step 3 as well as step 4 will be taken into consideration. So whatever the amount that is there in your step 3 minus step 4, remaining value will become your gross annual value. Clear? So this gross annual value assessment need to be done with respect to your computation of income from house property, right? Majorly with respect to your let out house property, this gross annual value is very essential. And also normally in your examination, they will be asking the problems on gross annual value also, right? So gross annual value in the sense, they will ask you to solve the problems or just to find out what will be the gross annual value with respect to house property, they will ask you. So at that particular point of time, you need to be in a position to solve this. So that you need to understand what is this gross annual value. So till now what we discussed related to that problems, right? Problems on gross annual value, related to that we will solve now, right? Earlier we discussed related to the theoretical aspect to your gross annual value, where that is very essential to solve your income from let out house property. So now we will solve few problems related to this gross annual value. Clear? So first and foremost thing is to find out the gross annual value, what are the things you need to take care. So as we discussed, 5 steps you need to remember, right? So based on those 5 steps, we will calculate the gross annual value. Now I will read out the problem. So we will solve few problems on gross annual value. So X owns a house property, municipal valuation rupees 1,45,000, fair rent rupees 1,36,000, standard rent rupees 1,24,000, right? It is let out throughout the previous year, rent being rupees 8,000 per month up to November 15, 2019 and 14,000 per month thereafter. X transfers the property to Y on January 31st, 2020. Find out the gross annual value of the property in the hands of X for the assessment year 2020-21. So here this is the information provided with respect to gross annual value. So here X is an assessee who is owning a house property. So where they have said municipal value has been given, fair rent has been given, as well as standard rent has been given. Afterwards, they say that during the previous year. So normally any assessments will be made during the previous year. So at that particular point of time, in the previous year, what has happened here? Till November 2019, he was paying 8,000 per month rent. Clear? Afterwards, means since November onwards, he has paid 14,000 per month. Till when? Till January 31st. Because on January 31st, X has transferred the property to Y. Means yes, it might be a sale, or it might be just a transfer, or it might be giving the possession to the Y. So that clear information is not there. That is irrelevant for us. So based on whatever the information now we are having, we need to calculate the gross annual value with respect to X. So first and foremost thing is we need to think what is the information that has been given. Based on that, we need to calculate. So first and foremost, first step in your gross annual value will be reasonable expected rent of the property, right? So for that purpose, required information is municipal value is there, fair rent is there, as well as standard rent is there. So related to that, so first thing is we will go with the given information what it is there, right? So here with respect to gross annual value we are calculating, gross annual value we are calculating, right? So here every year will be assessment year, you need to check, that is 2020, 21 is your assessment year, previous year is 2019, 20 is your previous year, right? In this previous year, so here what is the given information that we are having? So given information what we are having. So here in the previous year, how many days Mr. X had given it on rent? So that is from 01/04/2019 till he has transferred his house to Y, or the property has been transferred to Y. That was to 31/01/2020. So it is how many months here? It is 10 months. Clear? So 10 months they have transferred. So what is your understanding now here? There the information provided with respect to municipal value or fair rent or standard rent, it is for 1 year. But here the house is given for rent on up to 10 months because he had transferred it on January. So we need to calculate the information for 10 months, right? So here first thing is we will go with municipal value. So for 10 months we need to calculate, right? So municipal value, how much they have given? That is 1,45,000 is the municipal value what they have given. That is for 12 months. So you need to calculate that for 10 months. So 1,45,000. This is for 12 months what they have given. So this has to be into 10 months. Right? So what is the value we will get? So we will get 1,20,833. Right. Next thing is we require fair rent. So fair rent is also has been given, that is 1,36,000. So 1,36,000 divided by 12 into 10 months. So again why we are doing it 10 months? For 10 months it has been given. So means he has received the rent for 10 months because he has transferred. So that is the reason we are calculating it for 10 months. So again you will be getting 1,13,333. Clear? Next thing is standard rent has been given. So standard rent is 1,24,000. 1,24,000 into 10 months. So again this also should be calculated. So that is 1,03,333. So all these three informations are there. This is we have calculated. So based on this three information, keeping this as a base, we need to go with the calculation of gross annual value. Before that, we will decide here. So they say that in your municipal value, fair rent and standard rent, whenever it is given, first thing is you need to check, right? So where in this case whichever is higher, means when you are comparing the municipal value and fair rent, you should choose whichever is higher. So in this, if you choose which is higher, this is higher, right? So afterwards, next thing is they also say that the value of the rent should not cross your standard rent, means it should not be more than standard rent. So what it is, it should not be more than standard rent, means it should not be more than this. So now we will compare with this and this will be compared. So where whichever is less will be considered, right? So we will consider this value. Is it clear? So before getting into the gross annual value calculation, these things should be known. Whenever there is information available with respect to municipal value, fair rent and standard rent. Clear? Okay. Okay. Now we need to calculate the gross annual value. So we have made a basic calculation with respect to municipal value, what it is, fair rent, what it is, afterwards standard rent. So where they say that you need to make the comparison between municipal value and fair rent, whichever is higher, that we came across. Afterwards they also say that it should not exceed your standard rent. So it should not exceed your standard rent means whichever is lesser, we made a comparison. So first step is reasonable expected rent of the property. First step is reasonable expected rent of the property. So here first what we made, municipal value or fair rent, whichever is more. Afterwards whatever the more value we got, that was compared with your standard rent, so whichever is less. So based on that, the reasonable expected rent of the property is 1,03,333. Right. Next step is step 2. So here step 2 is rent received or receivable after deducting unrealized rent, but before adjusting loss due to vacancy. So in this case we need to find out. So one thing you need to remember here, there are two rents that has been given, means up to November 15th he was getting 8,000, afterwards they have paid 14,000. So how many months that we need to check? Means from April 1 till November 15, how many months? So at that point of time he was getting 8,000. So it is 7.5 months, right? So what you will be getting? So it will be around 60,000. Next thing is, remaining is out of 10 months, remaining is 2.5 months. So they were paying 14,000. So for 2.5 months, they were paying 14,000. So this is summing up to 35,000. So based on this, in your step 2, rent received or receivable after deducting unrealized rent is 95,000. Clear? So 95,000. Next thing is, we need to move on to step 3. So here step 3 says amount computed in step 1 and step 2, whichever is higher. So we need to make the comparison between step 1 and step 2, that is this and this. So whichever is higher means this is higher. Clear? So amount computed in step 1 and step 2, whichever is higher. So which is higher? 1,03,333 is higher. Clear? So this is step 3, right? Afterwards, next thing is step 4. Step 4. So here your step 4 says loss due to vacancy. Loss due to vacancy. So what is loss due to vacancy in this problem? We don't have any information. Next is step 5. So your step 5 is GAV, that is gross annual value. Here what they say here is you need to check with these two steps, step 3 and step 4, where step 3 minus step 4, right? So there is no value, so 1,03,333. This is your GAV, right? So whenever you are calculating gross annual value, these are the 5 steps you need to follow. This is only one component for your calculation of your let out from house property. So one major basic thing with respect to your let out house property calculation, gross annual value is a major component, right? So to calculate that gross annual value, you need to go with this process, right? Where step 1 you will calculate reasonable expected rent of the property. Afterwards you will calculate rent received or receivable after deducting the unrealized rent. Next thing, your step 3 will be saying that amount computed before above 1 and 2, what it is, whichever is higher, that will be taken. Next thing is step 4 will be loss due to vacancy will be considered. So that is said as in this problem there is no information available, so that we have taken as nil. Step 5 will be your gross annual value, step 3 and step 4. So is it clear? So here like this in your examination also they will be asking the problems based on gross annual value also. One problem they will be asking. Normally 1 or 2 problems will be there. So we will solve one more problem with respect to gross annual value, right? I'll just read out the problem. Find out the gross annual value in the following cases for the assessment year 2020-21. There is no unrealized rent, right? Municipal value per annum 61,000, fair rent per annum 1,08,000, standard rent under the Rent Control Act per annum 60,000, rate of rent old tenant from April 1, 2019 to June 30th, 2019 per month 5,000, new tenant from July 1, 2019 to December 31st, 2019 per month 9,000. Period when the property remains unoccupied because suitable tenant was not available is from January 1, 2020 to March 31st, 2020. Actual rent received or receivable if there is no vacancy is 96,000. Loss due to vacancy is 27,000. So this is the information given with respect to the calculation of gross annual value. So this is one case where they have provided this information. So based on this information, we need to calculate the gross annual value. So in this case, municipal value they have said per annum, again fair rent per annum they have said, again standard rent has been given, again it is 60,000 per annum. Then there are two tenants. They say that one tenant was there till April to June. He paid every month 5,000 rupees. Afterwards, next tenant, that is new tenant, he came in July, he was till December, so he paid 9,000 per month. And also they say that period when property remains unoccupied, means unoccupied, that is from January 1st to March, so means 3 months it was unoccupied, right? So where it was a loss of 27,000, that is said as your loss due to vacancy, because 3 months there were no tenants, so it was fetching. Previously when the new tenant vacated, so at that point of time he was getting 9,000, means that property was fetching him 9,000 rupees. So 3 months no tenant, so it is 27,000, right? So based on this information, we need to calculate what is the gross annual value. Clear? So same format will be followed. So based on that, we will calculate the information. So here also, in this problem also, they have given the municipal value. So I'll just go with municipal value has been given. So here in this problem also, they have given the municipal value. So what is the municipal value amount they have given? So that is 61,000 is the municipal value that is given in the problem. Afterwards, they have also given fair rent. So fair rent is 1,08,000. So fair rent is 1,08,000 the fair rent they have given. Afterwards, they are also given standard rent, that is 60,000 per annum. So as we calculated in the previous problem, here also these information have been provided. Municipal value is given, fair rent is given, again standard rent is given. So based on this, first thing is what we need to identify. We need to see municipal value and fair rent, whichever is higher. In the sense, in these two factors, we need to see whichever is higher. So which will be higher? Your fair rent will be higher. Next thing is, we need to make the comparison between fair rent and standard rent. So fair rent is 1,08,000, standard rent is 60,000. The rules also says that there means your rent should not cross your standard rent. Means standard rent should not, whatever the other rents are there, it might be municipal rent or fair rent, if you make the comparison, it should not cross your standard rent because it is fixed up by the Rent Control Act. So 60,000. So if you compare between these two, so whichever is less will be the taken as the consideration. So standard rent is less, so we will take the consideration of standard rent 60,000. So why it is required for your step 1, right? So where for your step 1 in the sense it is reasonable expected rent, right? So for reasonable expected rent, what we do, we will see those three factors, means municipal value, fair rent and standard rent. Sometimes standard rent will not be given. At that particular point of time, whichever is more you will be taking into consideration, that will be said as your reasonable expected rent of the property. So now in this case, reasonable expected rent is 60,000. Clear? So afterwards they said that rent received or receivable after unrealized, deducting unrealized rent, but before adjusting the loss due to vacancy. Directly in the problem only they have said 96,000. So that we will be taking here 96,000. So next step is your step 3. Your step 3, what you will be seeing. So one more minute. So step 3. So in the step 3, what you will be seeing here, step 1 and step 2 will be observed. So step 1 and step 2 you will see. Again whichever is higher. So which is higher here, 60,000 or 96,000? 96,000 is higher. So this value will be 96,000. Next thing, loss due to vacancy. In the problem directly they have given, because 3 months the property was vacant. So because of that, the 10 means the assessee lose 27,000. So 27,000. So 27,000 is a loss due to vacancy. In the previous problem, there was no loss due to vacancy, so we did not take the loss due to vacancy. In this problem, they have provided the information, so because of that, we have posted the value. So that is 27,000. So remaining amount is what? We will see this 3 and 4. So from 3, we will deduct 4 and remaining will be your gross annual value. That is 69,000. So this is your gross annual value. Right. So based on the information provided, here they had directly given. So because of that, we did not had much of the confusions or calculations compared to previous problem. So I'll repeat again once again, here information was provided with respect to municipal value, fair rent and standard rent, right. So based on that, we made the verification, means for your first step requirement is municipal value, fair rent as well as standard rent. They say that standard rent means whatever the value difference between your municipal value and fair rent, whichever is higher, that should not exceed your standard rent. So because of that, 61,000 is there, 1,08,000 is there, again 60,000 is there. If you see this, whichever is higher, your fair rent is higher. Then we compare that value, whichever the higher value, with the standard rent, and then we look for whichever is less. So that is 60,000. So that is your first step of your gross annual value. Next thing is second step. In your second step, what they say, rent received. In the problem only they have said that they have received 96,000. So but they have given a split off, saying that one tenant, old tenant, new tenant, they have given the split off, but they also given the compiled calculation. In case, in spite of giving 96,000, if they would have not given 96,000, means we would have calculated. So what is the amount that has been given by the old tenant and new tenant. So but in this case, they have only provided that actual rent has been received as 96,000. So we have directly taken 96,000. So afterwards, we compare step 1 and step 2. Right. So where whichever is higher. So in this case, step 3, amount computed will be step 1 or step 3. 2, we will make the comparison. So where it is 96,000. So 96,000. Next thing is loss due to vacancy, that has been provided in the problem. Information is there. So 27,000. So we will deduct that 27,000 from the amount computed above, that is step 3. So gross annual value will be step 3 minus step 4, that is remaining amount is 69,000. So this is the problem based on your gross annual value. Thank you.